Yeah, we'll start with this one from Logan, who asks, "The hardworking Zach Hyman hit 50 goals. Congrats. But is it sustainable and attainable for future seasons in fantasy?" I guess I'd no. I don't think he gets 50 again, but what are your thoughts?
Oh, Zach Hyman, the discourse has been something else on the old Twitter in the last few days. And aside from some weird, hateful stuff out there, the other element of it that's weird to me is like discrediting just the fact that he's scoring goals from in close. It's like the object of the game is to score goals. Like I would take the 50 goal guy who scores from a foot away over the guy who scores 25 goals from far away. It's so ridiculous.
50
But it's
goals are 50 goals.
yeah, 50 goals. Like
Doesn't
the
matter how
puck
they're
went
scored.
into the net. It crossed the line. That's how you win the game.
Whether
It's
it's sustainable or not, or whether he could do it on another team doesn't matter because he's not on another team. In the current situation, 50 goals is 50 goals. Doesn't matter who he's playing with.
That's right. And it's a great question. So, Logan, what I'm thinking is Hyman will continue, of course, to get these opportunities as long as he's with Connor McDavid. We know, yes, Zach Hyman is 31, so he is a bizarre late bloomer in terms of having peak seasons as he reaches his 30s. It's kind of reminiscent of someone like Joe Pavelski. So, Pavelski is a good example of how it can be done. If you're in the right situation, you keep yourself in shape, you're a smart player, which Zach Hyman is, very smart player. And the fact that Hyman, he gets these goals on guile, on positioning, using his intelligence. It's not like he is relying on crazy wheels or raw physical tools. So to me, that says he's actually better equipped to continue doing this. He's built to age well because his game is not based on his physical traits as much. It's more mental for him. That said, he is scoring on 20% of his shots this year. So even though I think he's not done his window of being a really high-end fantasy contributor, I think this season will go down as his best year. And maybe next year he'll regress to only quote unquote 40 goals. So I think he'll be in the 40s next year. Still very valuable.
I think regardless of what happens the rest of his contract, he proved that that was an unbelievable UFA signing.
Oh,
And
incredible.
like,
He could go down depending on what he does for the rest of it. Like it could go down as one of the best UFA signings ever. And it's not easy to do. I remember a few years back, I was talking to a GM who was not very active in free agency, and he said, "Quick, name one good UFA signing in the salary cap era all time other than Zdeno Chara." And I was like, and I hesitated for a second. And he was like, "See, I told you." And there have been some decent ones, of course, Marian Hossa, but the point was made. Usually, you're paying guys for what they did, not what they're going to do. So it is hard to hit on a free agent signing, but they did on Zach Hyman.
and I wrote about that last week, saying he's one of the best UFA signings, like just based off the fact of what they're paying for him and what they've gotten out of him. 50 goals is like quite the bargain at five whatever million he makes.